Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, once again, it's showtime. Hi. I have made it to the end of time. Sort of. Oh. Let's see, would we like daggers? Daggers seem okay. Sure, why not daggers? Or instead we can over here. That's going to have an arena key. I don't really want an arena key. That's an arena fight. Those are never particularly entertaining. Go for gold, gold, and then gold. That's not very entertaining either. I guess we'll have to continue heading out this direction. Let's see, so this has those modifiers. Yeah, we're getting close to where we will actually be able to do the three echoes for this particular island in the middle of the void. As you can tell, the Imperial Echo is level 58. I'm 52, 53. Good evening to those who've joined me. I did enjoy my rather brief time in Defiance earlier, until the servers went down. I haven't checked on the status. I was planning on playing this evening anyway. But maybe tomorrow. That's not bad. I might play more. The Weaver improved Blackfire Heretical something. Don't know what. Level 54. One of the nice things about heading out to the Echoes early on is you load up very... Ooh, we do have another Weaver's entry here, so we'll head for that after we finish up the rest of the map. Stop that, exterminator. Big champion you. Missed me. Must be really bothersome to be so huge and then try to kill something and just completely miss like that. The Weaver's stuff is the new endgame, and it seems to be a very large improvement. Well, actually, it's not just Weaver improved Blackfire Heretical. Oh, that's right. That's the idol I'm currently playing. As you can now get special idols that also level up and add additional tasty affixes and weapons. Whoop, that was a big heavy hit from something. Hiding mage up, and we also have a nemesis. Get to him in a second after we remove this big fellow. Yes, we'll empower it again, thank you. And you get to die. Now we have the time-locked mage. He did something wrong, and they've locked him away in time. Now this is not a build that's going to insta-gank everything, because it's mainly dots. Here is one of the things we've got to... Oh, is it multiple mages? Is that what we have? here? I didn't even particularly notice. Another rune person, yeah. Multiple mages. But the dots are stacking up on him, and once they kick in, he kicks off. Use the portal to travel onwards. That would be the portal, the Weaver's thing, the new endgame stuff, which is an addition to the old stuff, and it's quite good. So far, I've done one. Maybe that's a little bit, or too early to say for sure, but it seems really good. I finished off this map, but there is an entrance to another Weaver's map. A tomb, so to speak.
Chaos, war, death. Her threads are only the beginning. Her web will free us.
And these do seem to be significantly more difficult than the base endgame stuff. So death is a possibility. I've not yet died on this character. That's a lot of unhappy big things. Let's try this way. No, this is not a way. Gold. We like gold. It appears to be a significantly deeper system than the basic system we had previously for the endgame. That's another level for me. I'm now level 55. We've got a champion over here. That's him. He is kind of difficult to see which way he's facing and which way he's going to, like, throw badness at me. Missed me. So the white mobs would die fast enough. Basically, one stack of the dot. Take care of them. The other mobs take a bit more work. So it's not this instant killing machine like a lot of builds will be. Ooh, he hit pretty hard, seems like. Okay, he likes to run laps, or wants me to run laps. How about you just could you? Thank you. I had to use a potion. And here we have reached the end of this, where we have various and sundry stuff. The goodies, so to speak. There were nothing that wasn't filtered out by my filter. Woven Enchanter. Enchant a class-specific idol. I need to get another class-specific idol. We don't have an enormous number of those. Didn't we just get a bunch more? Yeah, we put them in a tab. Let's see. Warpath area. Chance to slow with void spells. Bleed. Inspiration on kill. Health gained when stunned. Heal on lunge. Why not use that one? Is that a 2 per? 1 use. And it's going to basically enchant it. It now gets an additional 4% crit strike chance and a 3% crit strike multi. That's a bit of alright, isn't it? And we exit the tomb. And we're back where we had been previously. So we had finished out this map, right? What is with the bell? Is that just, I guess that's just ornamentation now. Are you guys done? Oh, what is that thing? It's taking quite a while to die. Let's go ahead and open the portal and we go back. Our echolocation, we get our winning loot. Again, the filter is filtering everything out. It's a pretty strict filter. We have 2 points. We're currently spending them in Paladin until we get to 15, which will give us Symbol of Hope, our last skill, and then we're back to White Knight. More elemental resists. How's our lightning looking? We're almost there on lightning. And 2% under for the capped resists. Very nice indeed. Pardon me. 14 to 15 in volatile reversal. You'll bear with me. I am using build guide. Volatile reversal, 14 to 15. That's the 2. 2 there. What about up there? 2, 1, 4, 1, 1, 3, 1. Yeah, 2. Okay. Cool. We have caught up with that. Usable duration, an additional second, and a second combo damage. Again, bear with me. This is going to take a bit of juggling. That I've never seen before. Oh, it's... Weaver's Will is a mechanic that is just enormous good fun. Basically, it's a good item on its own, but it's going to get 12 random affix points spread out, usually between 2 and 4 affixes. Stats are doubled for 3 seconds after hitting a boss or rare enemy that's at low health, melee damage, critical strike chance, movement speed, and dodge rating. That's one of the new Weaver's Will unique items. My first one, and it's pretty frickin' cool. We're going to salvage that. Sell. That is keep. That might actually be a swap right now. Damage over time, frailty on hit, and poison resistance. We'd lose a little health. I think it's actually better. But this one, we will salvage for pieces. +1 maximum shadows. That's probably a keeper. Increased physical damage. Definitely a keeper, but not for this build. 19 vet. Lunge, void resistance, and health regen. The 19 vet I've got on this is better, but still a keeper. A couple of keepers because they're purple quality. Not exotic. Minion damage and cold damage. That is a sell. A keep. That's a lot of movement speed. I would like that movement speed. I would lose a little health. We have an open prefix on that. That is said. So cells, deconstruct.
Yes.
The ways. This is cooldown recovery is nice. Poison resist. Fine. Do we have any health, say, or vet? We can go with vet. Yeah, vet. Excellent. Extra tier on Vit. Vit is our primary stat. Oh, and that will use up all of the resistance. All of they've got. The reforging juice. We can put it that way.
Take care.
this is, in essence, a unique item. Those are both need to be deconstructed for pieces and parts. 3, 8, 12 affixes, and we only got 2. It seems to me like they may have reduced the number of affixes you're getting from items you salvage. 5, 6. We got 3. Used to be sometimes you could like put an item with 12 and get 9 or 10 out. I haven't gotten anything like that. We're on to the next. Let's see. Actually, I don't know. I need to check in with the web guy or not. We're going to go ahead and go here and get some cash. I have turned my anomaly back onto autocast using the old key lock, numlock trick. Sorry, numlock trick. An old standard in ARPGs ever since the beginning of time. Basically allowing for autocasting skill. Well, we haven't done much on this map yet. We can go in to the tomb.
I ask, I of the Weaver's web will bind us together. So that
Yeah, 55. Let's go this way. Oh, no way out that way. A big ass tomb guardian. These critters seem to be arachnoid in shape, more or less. Rune of Weaving. I haven't gotten one of those before. We've got 3 chests. Money. Oh, that's another Weaver's Echo. I've only gone into a couple of these. The first one I did off screen. One I did a little while ago was only the second I've done, period. And there's an entire, basically, specking mechanic for these Weaver's Echoes. Similar to the Atlas 4 from PoE 2, ways you can buff what you're going to run into and what you're going to get out of. It's the Exterminator, everybody. I don't know. I thought they got the normally you got the Exterminator to get rid of the bugs, not an Exterminator who is a bug. Maybe that's just me. Certainly the biggest complaint about last Epoch previously was the endgame. They seem to have spent a good deal of time on it, and it seems to be a significant improvement. Alright, boss fight type thing, you think? Oh, yeah. The spinning thing is just really not very helpful, sir. We got him taken care of. And here we are again. Chest full of, presumably, fat loot. A lot of gold. Ah, that's right, just gold, because this is for the Echo. It echoes the rewards from the overall Echo, I believe. And this is enchant class-specific idols again. I don't have that many of them. The ones I've got, not all that great. If I ever play another Sentinel, lightning damage with hammer throw is not bad. How about Ignite? Because fire, you know. I hear good things about fire. It also has Weaver's Touch. That's right, this one had Weaver's Touch too, didn't it? And that increased the fire resist. This one has 3 Weaver's Touch, so I think it increases the... Ooh, Time Rot. We actually like the Time Rot one. Because Time Rot is a big chunk of our damage. That is everything here, right? Yep, no, and out we go. And now we have to finish off the base Echo that we were already working on. The Echo is conquered. That was a special mace of some sort. That was a really short Echo. Gold, a few thousand, 5,009 looks like. A cocooned club contains a random, unique, one-handed mace. Renegade's Will is a low-level mace, well, relatively, level 37, but this one has 2 LP, 2 legendary potential, which is really good. Vengeance. So this is used for a vengeance build, another build for the Sentinel. My first cocooned item. Sell damage over time. That's a salvage. Salvage for 1 affix on that we like. Oh, that's good. Not sure if it's better. Let's see. 3710. No. But we will salvage that one as well. Plated Minor Weaver Idol of Golden Light. We actually could use some lightning resist. We'll yoink one of the other small ones. I think we'll put us at cap for lightning. We are overcapped on all our resistances at only level 55. That used to take a lot more work.
Yes.
To get finished.
Take care.
I'm getting a bit low on our runes of shattering. We've got 5 in there. What we're really looking for is the armor bonus on crits. We got one of those. This we want the damage of melee attack. Isn't bad either. That was good. We got 7 out of like 9. So that was a really good salvage. 3, 3, 7, 8 total. And we got 4. They appear to be doing better now. I complained about them and now they seem to be working better. That's like so many things in life. All you have to do is complain sufficiently. I'm going to do, I'm going to head back to the Haven of Silk, which is where your mechanic is for the new League mechanic that was added. Or it's not a League mechanic, it's a new endgame. And it's a League mechanic. It's a dessert topping. It's a floor one.
The weaver's thread continues to
I
guide
don't
you
think I need
here,
more
see.
woven
cannot
echoes
do that.
yet. Ah, but here's the other thing. I do have one unspent point in the Weaver's Tree. So, for instance, I have a point here, and that means we're more likely to get champions. And they drop more exalted items. And here, we're more likely to run into lost caches with additional exalted items. And I believe we go up here for 2. Pardon me a sec, I am running a build guide, so. Yep, up here for 2. You have a chance for experience tomes to drop when you complete an echo objective. So more experience is good. Memory Amber is used to buy echoes from
The weaver's thread
Mask.
continues to guide you here, I see.
back to there, and we're off to our next echo. Unless we can finish up this little island of echoes, we may have sufficient, in which case we just run the 3 storyline quests. Not quite. We can run the first 2, but not quite the 3rd. So where are we off to next? Exalted Rings would be good. So we'll probably do this, and then Exalted Rings. We could do this, which is similar to this, a thing where you can use one of those woven echoes to either jack up the loot on that echo around or affect all the echoes around it. But we're almost done here, so I'm going to do this one simply to get to this one because more Exalted Rings would be good. I don't have a whole lot of Exalted Rings. Rings are pretty crap, actually, so Exalted Rings. Now, they have redone these, I understand. The arenas, mobs come sooner, less time waiting around, sitting on your thumb. I mean, unless you like sitting on your thumb, and I'm not going to judge you for that. I'll judge you, but not for that. Oh, we've got a nice chest down here that'll have some additional lootiness for us.
Stand down.
I like lootiness. 1056. They definitely come faster, but you're not being completely, like, overwhelmed. Seems like a good middle ground. All in all, I am very happy with the updates to the game. We are in wave 13. Wave 14 coming in. And this will be the last one. All right, I think it said 14. Indeed, it is the last. Got some loot. Tome of Experience. And we have a chest full of extra goodies. Open the Lost Warriors cache. A couple more exalted items. Done. Open portal. Back. Get our glyphs. That's a pretty good start, actually. A lot of increased void damage. For some work. That's a cell, a cell, a save. That could be really good. I'm going to craft on that right now and see what we can get. Then those 2 are also saves. A ring. I'm guessing that she's filtering that,
Yes.
including that in the filter because it has very high elemental resistance. Resistances are much easier now than they were 2 days ago to get capped, or at least get in a good functional place. Running out of space, gonna have to be buying another new tab soon. Not there. Here, there we go. Not gonna have to buy it, actually. We've got that stash tab. I used that as a dump tab earlier. Let's see what crafting we can do on this. We do not want to shatter this. We want to keep this. And we want to use up as little forging potential as possible. Health and health percentage are awesome. It already has the capped mana. Vit is our primary stat in this build. We scale off vitality. That cost us 7 forging potential. That cost us 7 more. You can stop now. 10 more. Okay. We'll go with the health node that we have the most goodies for, which I think is just the +5, the base, not the percent. That'd get us another percent up as a crit, and we're down to 58. We have to hit 58 before we can add any additional stuff on this. Let's see, we've got 7 mana, 28 vit, fire resist, endurance, and health. This has, all in all, better stats. We're going to swap. Also has more armor. I'm going to set this aside because it's good enough that we'll use it on another build. Also, our anomaly? No, volatile reversal went from 15 to 16. That's there. Temporal dilation continues. And we've got 1 or 2. 1. Next, I think we put like 1 there. And finish out where we're trying to get to is to get 5 points there. And then that will give us a total of 15. That'll give us symbols of hope. And that's our last skill. Ah, that's where we were going. Rings. Rings on my fingers, bells on my toes. We have unlocked the third of the 3 storyline missions you have to do for this timeline. Another arena I didn't even realize. But right now, I'm burninating everything in front of me. So not only am I doing passive damage, I'm just doing passive damage. That is the improved conflagrating heretical large item of Idol of Ra. Sometimes you don't even have to press a button, you just hold down the one that allows you to move. How many waves do we have? 13 waves. Now we're no longer breathing fire. I'm so disappointed. Who doesn't want to breathe fire? I mean, it's a bummer if you're kissing somebody, I suppose. That won't be happening tonight, so I don't have to worry about that. Oh, add another. More fire! Come and get some. It's an Ursine Enigma. 2 of them? Down here? Down here? Not yet. There we go. Still breathing fire. Shouldn't have been drinking shots of sriracha. Excellent. 4 exalted rings. Tasty. And a few shards. Okay, so this has gotten, in addition to the time rot, it also, which increased, it has also gotten increased armor and armor mitigation, also applying to damage over time, which are pretty good. The other stuff on it doesn't matter to me, but those are good enough for me to keep it in place. Lightning damage with hammer throw. That is a likely future upgrade. Right. Oh, this is new. Haste after evade for 1.2 seconds and divide. Yeah, that's actually pretty good too. So let's see. Poison resist is the elevated. Health, mana regeneration, the rest of them. Health is great, the rest of it, not so much. Health regeneration. And damage over time. That one's probably going to be a keeper for this build. Healing effectiveness, and endurance. Those are all good. Not gonna lie. Would I lie to you? Spoiler. Yeah, he would. He really would. Because the... Well, let's see. 3857 right now. $41.45. Plus it has health regeneration. Has health. I can add to the health. Don't think I have any health regen right now, but I can try and keep that in mind. A little health regen wouldn't hurt. How's our poison? We're still slightly overcapped. We're undercapped on physical now. That's a surprise. Not quite sure why that is. But we will put this ring away. No, we will deconstruct this ring. Salvage time. One shard. Are you kidding me, man? Why are you so cheap with the shards? No call for that. Well, where do we have some physical resist that we might be able to buff up a little? That's got physical resist. Does it have room for more physical resist? It does. We'll now be overcapped on physical resist. Not by much, but overcapped. Alright, now we are going to do the storyline stuff, I think. Yeah, we'll start that. Why can't I do it? Should be able to do it. Oh, over here, I think. Yeah, there it is. It's been a while since I played. Nope. Sometimes there's a shrine back there, but in this case, nope. No shrine. Okay. Level 57. Almost up to the level of the Echo. I think these are all 58s. The next one, the next batch I'll go to will be higher too. And what do we got? We got, oh, don't know what that shrine was. Looks like it is something I don't know. I can't. I think it's a big, like, swooping, damaging thing at range. And we dropped an offhand catalyst up there. Oh, that's my third of those. It is now in second place for the unique I've dropped most. I have 4 Sword of Iruns. Three of the Skull Helm. Now 3 of the Ice volatile ice bottle. And along with that level, we've leveled up 3 of our skills. Alright, return to the barricade. That's the wave of fire going out. Is that's not me. Oh, that's right, I have to defend. Waves of mobs. They're just so boring. Yawn, you know. Sometimes you just have to yawn. We'll get to that after we finish out the echo by dotting it up and then it'll die. A little bit of gold, experience, and we'll bust out this mage from his rune prison, and we'll welcome him back to freedom with a whole bunch of unpleasant dots. Oops, he actually did some damage. That's the nerve. I'm doing him a favor by letting him out of time jail. Not really much of a favor. I didn't want to kill him, though. He made me do that. Sort of. 8% elemental resistance is a really nice starting idol. There's the ice. So much ice. Sell. Let's keep her.
Yes. Take care.
Let's see. First up, Devouring Orb, 16 to 17. Bear with me a sec. 16 to 17. Eldritch Bloom. Devouring Orb gains more radius each second, up to a maximum. Okay, I like that. 16 to 17 in Smite. Heavy Impact. More damage multiplicative from the Fissure. And Anomaly, 16 to 17. More Time Bubble, granting me and my allies increased health leech. Oh, God, it's so good. Who doesn't like health leech? Probably the people being leeched, if I'm being honest with you. Alright, Majelka Streets. Back to auto-casting our Anomaly. One of the things that makes this even better build than it was at launch, with my starting build, is you don't have to use the Nunlock trick on the Devouring Orbs. But you still do have to use it on Anomaly. It takes a spec point to not have to use it. Well worth just for the quality of life, not having to press the button. We have a champion up yonder, which we'll get to in good time. Oh, he's one of the big guys. They can hit really hard. If you let them. General advice. Don't let him. Not the bad man. Shards. How nice. Generous. Never don't like that. Where's the... defeat the Imperial Commander. He must be around up here. Portal. Through the portal. Unspent point in reversal. Volatile reversal from 16 to 17. Up there. You gain a haste buff for a short duration after you jump backwards in time. We can wait on dealing with those, and we'll move directly on to the Altar of Flesh. Just your average Friday night in my place. There we go. Ah, yes, this fellow. He's big and unpleasant. But what we have to do is destroy soul vessels. And then we can destroy him. For that, he is no takey damaging. Also, the green, watery looking places are damaged. So we want to avoid those. As are the sort of green, watery looking circles. Tossing around. And we've got it. Grab the body armor. We get to choose a blessing. One of these is now added to the character, basically. For all time, unless you change it. 29% increased gold drop rate, 49% adorned idol drop rate. That seems pretty good. 43% large idol. Ooh, adorned? Large. Large can be really good. I'm going to go large, I think. There seem to be voices coming from inside the mass of swirling souls. Alric, the outcast queen, so many others. We're all captured and harvested to create the abomination. Listen to them, freed them. Damn it, don't give up, not yet. Please, there's nothing else for us here but to... I will dream of the future. Altar. Open a portal and head back. More XP and stuff. I think it's Valor that we go to. Yeah, Valor until we can reach that for 5 points. And the next 4 points there, and then 5 points there, and we're done with Paladin. And that will unlock Symbols of Hope. At least we hope so. Ooh, woven flesh. On to the next little island. The Black Sun. This is a fight against Raye, corrupted Raye at the end. Gold, gold, or runes. Let's go with the runes, I think. And again, level 66, so these are higher level maps. No sooner do I hit 58, which was the last tier. We're back behind again, but this will make leveling faster. At least it's to be hoped. A couple more Weaver's Echoes. And we once again have
Stand down or die.
Shrine Effect that's lobbing bombs at everything's head. Everything's heads. We'll challenge this one. Down it. You can only empower it twice. And, that is the Weavers. Another tomb. And another level. And wasn't quite meaning to go in quite that fast, but hey, we're here, so.
Who are we? The Emperor Weaver will embrace us all. The Weaver.
Once again, I think now these are also child. 8 levels higher than me, I expect. So once again, death, a possibility. Champion, Tomb Guardian. Doing for money anyway. 176k. Something there dropped a nasty little debuff on me. How unwelcome. I will have to exterminate them all. Oh, got a chest. Undoubtedly filled with astonishing loot. Or a few ruins. Now, mind you, there was more loot in there, but it didn't need it. Wireless. A loot lizard. He did not last very long, as you may have noticed. Given that he basically was pretty much deleted. Fate Weaver Gotho. No, Clotho, sorry. Ah, Clotho. They're using like some of the old mythical spider figures of legend. And we have finished out another one. More runes. Didn't I set one aside? I think I did. That's the one we're going to drop in, unless that one's better. It's got a little more damage, but doesn't have as good a synergy. We have one use. You're the winner. Lightning damage and hammer throw, chance to shred armor, ward decay threshold. Not a not a real great sort of combo platter there. All right, we're back here at the rest of the echo that we hadn't finished. See them anywhere close, so this is going to be a while. Take us a while to get to the things that need our attention. Three champions, evidently. Did he not die? He did not. Why? Rude. Here's our first of our champions. Lots of various shards of stuff. Very nice. It's always one of the sort of mild difficulties in the start of a new league is you don't have all of the shards and everything that you have, you know, if you're playing. After a while, you rack up literally thousands of shards. You might not have all of the ones you want in the numbers you want them, but you have sort of lower level ones for sure. And the last of the champions is not there, but why not go a little bit aside to grab a shrine, which should make killing them that much faster. There was something over there that was firing things off at me from a distance, but it probably came over and got itself murdered. It's a side effect of the incredible amount of death and destruction I was committing. You know, the way you want to. An arena key. We still have not gotten a key to the temporal sanctum, which would be nice. Lots of stuff. Battle Mage's Endeavor. That's a two-hander, but not for me. Oh, this has a sword. There we go. That doesn't belong there. Or does the singularity, actually. Now I'm just tidying up, because I'm mental about these things. About so many things. I was going to drop that off here too. And a hat. A snowblind. Did we have a snowblind previously? No. No LP on that. That came with increased lightning damage. Ooh, melee. That's a lot of melee lightning. That's me. I'm going to build a lightning melee caster out of that. 47% chance to cast lightning blast when you use a melee attack. Hit at least one enemy. Plus the increased lightning damage. That is stupid good. I'm going to go with stupid good. Goes in here, goes in here, goes in here. Here, here, here. Let's see. Block. Not good enough. We had two more uniques. Rain Dance. Shrine Boots. Movement. Dodge rating if you've been hit. Health rating when you dodge. Not much for dodging this build. More just sitting there and grinning as things try to kill you and fail. Badly. At some point, I'm going to have to tidy up my stash tabs, but that day is not today, my friends. fizz resist. That's a boatload of fizz resist. Ooh, poison resist and elemental resist. And spell critical strike chances. That's something we're going to be using. That is melee lightning, fire. That comes with already a equivalent of a fractured melee damage affix. Very nice. That's all fiery. Fire damage and chance to ignite. That's really good too. That's gonna go. Vit, armor and reduce crits, and fizz resistance. Not bad. Okay, fine, you can stay. That one needs to be shattered. That's a sell.
Yes. Take care.
Oh, I did want to see what other things we've got. We've got one glyph of despair, which is used to seal affixes. Glyph of order modifies the outcome, prevents the roll of an affix within its range from changing. So basically that would mean if you had a tier 3 affix that was at the maximum it could possibly be, when you upgraded it to a tier 4, it would still be at the maximum it could possibly be. Glyphs of chaos. I haven't been doing any real crafting with those yet. Okay, what do we have in here? We've got the shatters. We've got the refinements, which rerolls the values. We have the rune of removal, which removes an affix, returns all of the shards for that affix. Rune of discovery adds random tier 1 affixes. That's really good at low levels. Rerolls all the implicits on an item. That's the rune of ascendance, which takes a regular item and turns it into a unique of the same flavor. So if you took a helm, it would give you a unique helm. We have 2 of these runes of weaving. Transform a random amount of the remaining Weaver's Will or Weaver's Touch on an item into additional affixes or affix tiers as if you had slain many enemies with that item. Basically allows you to insta-level up a Weaver's Will item. Weaver's Will, the pinkish affixes here didn't exist when the item dropped. They were rolled on randomly. It had, I think, 12 Weaver's Will on it. We don't want that. We want this. Yeah, 3, 5, and 7. Yeah, so 7 tiers of elemental resistance, which is great. That's why my elemental resistance is so good. Well, okay, cold has a little bit more than it needs. It's almost double. But the Weaver's Will on that item was very, very, very good leveling up. Okay, let's see. Do we have any of the cool spidery? No. Let's get some amulets, I think. Yeah. Amulets. The Sunless Coast. And I will need to reapply. An autocast anomaly. Control clicking on an item in Guild Wars 2 makes it autocast. By default, all of your default weapons goes, where do you think you're going, young man? Not actually a man. A loop. We have a champion. Gilgamesh the Corrupt.
Stand down or die.
Gilgamesh, the artist formerly known as Gilgamesh the Corrupt. Back into another Weaver's Will. Endgame thing. Tomb. Or like tombs and something else. I think I've only seen tombs so far, but there must be a higher tier of
The
them.
Weaver has
Tears and Catacombs.
So she could be there to save us.
Oh, the Ice Beetle. Ice Beetle's not the most exciting pet around, I gotta say. Oh. Trying to sneak in behind me, eh? I don't think so. I don't play that. I don't play at all. Except games. I play games. Real games. Mind games. Not so much. It's gonna drop a boatload of idols. Maulheart, the Pale Enforcer. Dude, just get a little sun. As the kids say, touch grass. Patient Thread. They're really big on the spider analogies and metaphors around here. Don't know if you've noticed. Boss dude. Clotho. Ooh, that hit. Got him. Tell you, the first one of these little Weaver's dungeons I did was by far the longest I've done. Didn't drop nothing I could use. Vit and physical resistance and minion physical. That's pretty good. How many is it looking for? It's looking for one. Sure, that one's up. Why not? %1 increased armor, and armor mitigation also applies to damage. Not a biggie? Fine. We'll now finish out the Echo. We have to slay the Void Walker Sorcerer. He hasn't done anything specifically to me, but it's the job. Level 60. We have another champion. There he is. Unrelenting Scarab of Rage. Well, oh no, he's not the champion. That one's the champion. Whoa! Hey, dude. That's no good. Possessed by an erased alchemist. He actually hits pretty damn hard. Not a fib about that. He actually hit pretty hard. Not so much anymore. Oh, I'm gonna open the portal, but I do want to check this first because they can drop gold. As I was going to say, they can drop gold or idols. You open a portal. Get back. More stuff we can't use. Well, we won't use. Two more here, right? Yeah, two more and get into the bulwark. A lot of stuff. That was not a complaint. Clear about that. I was not complaining. Let's see. Void Pen isn't bad, but the rest of it, not great. Melee void damage. Shock on hit, but we're not really hitting. We don't hit things with our well, I mean, we're running around with a wand, example. So we're not really hitting things. My, that's a big axe. Was all the purple stuff? Yeah, it was. All right. Physical damage. Nope, that's a sell. That is a salvage. Sell. Oh, we do have another purple. Those get filed away with the idols. Throw me the whip. Throw me the idol. It's no time. Throw me the idol. Adios, senor. He said. No. I was ing until I saw the base type. Base type, not good. Yep, those are all sold. That one is reforged.
Take care.
Well, technically it's salvaged. Not reforged. We've got 9 affixes. We got 6 of them, including all of the vengeance shards, which is the one I actually wanted out of it. Hey. And we would like the 2 of the level of manifest armor out of this. Got a total of 8. We got the 2, the only 2 we got were the 2 I wanted, so that was actually really good results. Your mileage may vary. Don't try this at home, kids. Let's see, where to? Ooh, we've got another echo over there where we can drop one of the woven echoes into. So we're going to go here for more amulets that will make me unhappy, and then there. Someone's an allied ice beetle again, I think it was. I don't see it. Summon something. Yeah, it's behind me. It's big and slow. But then I'm kind of big and slow too, so. We're kindred spirits. He's my spirit animal. Slay enemies to locate the Prophet of Ruin. Missed me. He jumped in, did no damage, and died to the AoE. That thing did a little bit of damage, like a lot. Recognize it. Little budge on the health total. Alright, we're going to come back, I think, for the Weaver's thing. How far is it? Yeah, we'll take care of the Prophet first. No, we won't. He's not far away, but it's a winding route, so we'll finish off the Weaver's location first. The tomb, I guess it is. I haven't found any of the, I think they're catacombs, but I'm not even sure they're catacombs. I didn't read extensively on the new stuff. I wanted to be surprised. I saw a little bit of it one players, but wasn't paying much attention. Oh, Wretchblade the Doomed. He hit some actual damage. Stop throwing things at me from afar. Not that I want you to throw things at me from the near either. Definitely, these things are tougher than the default endgame critters you're fighting. What is that? Are those things I can pick up? They are. Oh, those are memory amber. Okay. I probably have been missing some memory amber. Didn't realize. Boss. Atropo. One-handed sword. That is a boss drop from that boss. I know nothing about it, other than it's a boss drop because it had their name, Atropon. We have one use left. We didn't get any new class specific. I'm going to start dropping all of the ones that I've already done, that have already been buffed or whatnot. Those are not class specific, those are just the new ones from this content. Let's see, lightning damage. Sure, lightning damage with the hammer throw. We've got a bunch of those now. Hammer throw is the way you level up. Hey, fat buddy, how you doing? Welcome to your weekend, my friend. It's the way you welcome up, level up. Fire resist and ignite duration. Sure, why not? That, we got that, and now we will finish off the echo. There is the champion we've got to fight. The Prophet of Ruin. Missed me. Missed me. Now you've got to eat a whole buttload of dot damage. Maybe next time you don't want to miss me. Just saying. Open portal. No, at least 3 amulets did not get ignored by the filter, so maybe we got something good. Let's see. Level 63, I can't use that yet. Increased void damage is good. Increased damage over time is very good. Wow. How much? It only has 14 forging potential. Why couldn't it have had more forging potential? That's exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for. It's fine, really. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Actually, that's a save. This one is a salvage. Sell. Freeze rate multiplier. Who needs freeze rate multiplier? I certainly don't. Save. Damage over time. Those resists are not even worthy. Those resists are not worthy. Vit, mana, lightning resist, and lightning resist. Gotta say no on that. Ooh. Void pen and poison resist. Damage over time. Dodge and poison resist. This one is just way better. Way better. Not a little better. Way better. That's a lot of void damage on the neck. The base is terrible. The base is quite base indeed. Spell damage. That one gets put, and we're going to take an actual look at the Sword of Atropos thing.
Yes.
Sell the stuff. After we
Take care.
salvage the one salvageable we have got. 4 damage over time, please. 4 damage over time shards. Thank you. It's so nice when the gods actually listen and decide, yeah, give it to him. Doesn't happen very often. That's a lot of freeze rate multiplier. Not for this build, but for some future build. This goes into our... I'm holding on to this for this character. This is Critical Strike Multi. We're not a Critical Strike build. It's not what we do, man. It's not what we do around here, right? And this is the unique that dropped. Let's see. Scissors of Atropos. Gain a stack of Kismet when you directly use a melee attack. I don't use melee attacks. When you use a throwing attack, I don't use those. Oh, consume all stacks. So this is meant for a hybrid melee and throwing build. So probably Shuriken and one of the rogue builds. It could also be the Sentinel. The Sentinel has like the throwing hammers and the spinning hammers. You throw a couple of stacks of those, but in this case, it looks like more like a bunch of melee attacks and then a throwing attack. Consumes all stacks to gain +8 throwing critical strike and 8 throwing physical damage per stack. Some length of time. Melee damage, increased attack speed, +2 to melee attacks. +2 to melee attacks. I'm assuming that's the skill level. +4 Vit, and it has 6 Weaver's Will, which means that as it levels up, it will gain additional affix or affixes. That will be random in nature. Isn't that exciting? Actually, it is exciting. I really like the Weaver's Will idea. We picked up another Woven Echo or couple. We are back. We have no unspent points. So we're off to our next location. Aha! We're going to want one of these. I want to look at the echoes and see which one I want to use. So, place a temple from a forgotten timeline filled with shrines. Lots of shrines. That's interesting. Slay Harospex Orion, Seeker of the Shards, upon the summit of his war camp. Always drops a unique melee weapon. That's not that interesting. Break through the fortifications along the Great Bridge to gain access to the Forge of Fates, where you can shatter your set items. I don't have many set items. I'm wearing one. But I've not gotten many of the set items yet. That'll happen a lot more once I get Circle of Fortune open and leveled up. One of the levels of Circle of Fortune is anytime you get a drop of a set, the entire set drops. Next up, wade through the blood-soaked halls to confront the Baroness. Delve into a vast tomb of the erased and defeat the Fate Weavers to claim the Echo-specific rewards of all surrounding echoes. Sounds interesting and perhaps very dangerous. Complete the objective to claim loot fit for a great mage. I did this similar one that was for a great sentinel, which I am, pretty great. Confront multiple nemeses to scale the tower. I think I'm going to go with that. The Cemetery of the Erased. Oh, that's it. It's tombs and cemeteries. I have done one cemetery. Loading the devoured armory. Enter the cemetery and defeat the woven firstborn. So we have to find the cemetery first. That is an overburdened lizard. A loot lizard. Basically a loot goblin from... the equivalent of a loot goblin from some other game. We have another loot lizard. Poor little thing. It broke up into more loot lizards. Now I don't feel bad at all for actually murdering them. Woot! We have the temporal key. That's what we'll need to shortcut our trip to the Circle of Fortune. An email stating the obvious, Dune Awakening delayed. Yeah, they... I don't know if I got an announcement about it, but I saw it. Yeah, it's delayed until the 5th or the 4th? 4th or 5th. I did get the Temporal Sanctum key. I did. We'll be trying the Temporal Sanctum just a bit. But we won't be doing it for the reason most of the time we do the Temporal Sanctum. I mean, although we will be using that facility to try and use the LP in an item. But what we're using it for is for the shortcut. It allows you to get to Act 9 faster. June 10th? No, it was supposed to be 3 weeks. Oh, June 10th? Right, sorry. Yeah, it's 3 weeks. I pre-ordered, I got that one of the I spent too much packages, and I get the head start. So that's the 5th, I think. Are you playing, Fat Bunny? You going to play that? Are we actually going to get to game together? I would be delighted to do so if that is your plan. Right now, Fat Buddy's going, how do I tell him no? What's the easiest way to... No, I'm not playing. I've decided not to. Gonna try another Funcom game. There you go. Let's face it. For me, anyway, the complaints about them having jank is generally true. They do have their certain amount of jank. I was impressed that Joel Bylos, the guy who's the director for Dune Awakening, used the word jank when describing their reputation. But I've always had a lot of fun with their games, starting with Anarchy Online, Age of Conan, the first 20 levels. It was amazing. Everyone thought we had a hit game the first 20 levels until you left, not Tortuga, Tortola, I think it was called. Yeah, I think it was Tortola. Tortilla.
Or die.
Oh, I hope I do get a chance to play with you. That would be awesome. No, I can understand not wanting to, have to share the spotlight with a famous streamer. I mean, it's a burden we streamers all know. I think like me and, Ninja and Soda Poppin', we all experience this. Also, I'm lying through my fucking teeth. Did we enter the cemetery? That's the cemetery right there. We're going in. We already are almost full on items. The cemetery awaits. All right. thought I got to use... Whoa! One of the echoes here. I haven't found a way to do that yet. Maybe it's at the end. Oh, that's what we want. We want more of the memory amber. We've got a nemesis. We want to empower it. Ooh, Tribo Electra. And then a couple of chests and a big two-handed axe. Yeah, empower it. He's run away. He's run away, he has. He's afraid of us. Oh, yeah, beef with Asmon or something. That would be good. Frankly, a guy like him, I mean, come on. He's just trying to look bald to keep up with me. That ought to do it. Oh, this was a dead end. Don't much care for dead ends in ARPGs. EHG, GGG. We do not approve. 23 gold. I don't know where I could possibly spend it all at once. We have another champion. That is not a great place to fight him on the steps. Could you move, dude? Seriously? That's just... It sucks? I think we've DC'd. I think we lose the map. This is like my third DC I've had. We DC'd. And my character wasn't happy. You noticed he was stomping his feet. I think that's how Datmods died. Game server disconnection. On his hardcore character. There are reasons sane people don't play hardcore. It is a bummer.
I cannot do that. I cannot do that. I cannot do
Life
that.
is pain, Highness. Anyone who says differently is selling something.
Thread continues to guide. I assure. Of course, her children, the rewoven, are lost souls. Given, yes, of course. Your skill, please continue your work.
I cannot do that.
And return as you wish, traveler.
I cannot do that. I cannot do that. I cannot
How
do
much
that.
of the amber do I
The
have?
weaver's thread continues to
I
guide
cannot
you
do
here.
that.
I have 3,000 amber. These cost like 750 to 1,000 each. Cemetery of Reweaving. Cemetery of the Erased, where woven echoes can be exchanged for others once the woven firstborn has been slain. I've got a few here. What else do we have? Anything used to travel back to the ancient era and destroy whatever created the Antipode Rift. The Antipodes is the point on the Earth that's the exact opposite. Those are the Antipodes. Words. I do love me some words. I'm going to go ahead and buy that
I
one.
cannot do that.
That added 2 more.
I cannot
Okay.
do that. I cannot do that.
And we do have another point, which I believe we're going to spend here. Your echoes have a chance to contain additional spiderling packs, which I assume give additional amber. We'll confirm. I'm following Allie's build guide. I believe Allie was
I cannot
the
do
first
that.
level 100 sometime this
cannot do
morning,
that.
my time. When I went to
I
bed
cannot do that.
at 11, because I woke up so
cannot
early
do
because I had
that.
such a crappy night of sleep.
I cannot do that.
She was level almost 97.
I cannot do that.
And since I went to bed at 11, I think came
cannot
live at
do that.
9, she'd been playing for
I
13
cannot
hours.
do that. I cannot do that.
There are a lot of crazy MMORPG or ARPG players, I should say.
I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
Oh, let's see what we've got.
I cannot do that.
Sell. Put aside. Put a cast speed. No, not. Block, damage reflected, and lightning resist. A dark Odachi. Increase physical damage. Physical damage. Do I look like the kind of guy? A
cannot do
barbarian who would do physical damage? That one isn't terrible. We have that's got Vit and Void damage. I think we actually get more damage from the Vit scaling than we get from the 12%. Critical strike multiplier with Judgment and Rive. And Void damage, those. It always, in ARPG games, so often they'll give you one affix that's, say, for fire, and then you get ice and poison. It's like, oh, come on, guys. Wouldn't it be nice if you rolled a fire if your affixes were applied to the item sequentially, and if the first one is fire, then things like ignite become more likely, and things like cold become less likely. Not impossible, but less likely. This has been my brilliant idea for itemization. Start making it, devs. Away, away. And what I've got is better. Spell damage, damage over time. That one might be good. Spell damage over time. Void pen. That one really might be good. No. Damage over time. And a couple of resists. That's got damage over time. Frailty. I don't know if the frailty is actually good on this build or not. Been logging into your Guild Wars 2 account every day just for the log-on stuff? Yeah, I did that for years. I have finally run out of parts on all 3 ley matter converters. You haven't even started the latest expansion. No desire. It is, sadly, it is kind of underwhelming. I have come to the conclusion, it does not bring me any comfort or ease, that the game is not in maintenance mode. I called it maintenance mode plus. Another player called a different game, called it sustain mode. Most of the company's working on something else. We assume it's Guild Wars 3, might be 2 games, we don't know. And the people who are working on Guild Wars 2 right now are doing a great job. There just aren't enough of them, and it shows in the content. It's just not as good, it's not as deep. There's nowhere near as much of it. Alright, we're going to head back to where we were. The Black Sun. Pardon the yawn. Black Hole Sun. Oh, that's right. For some reason, only when you exit a monolith do you actually get a stash there. To get to the stash, I have to go back to the main.
I cannot do that.
The Big Island, as we call it.
I cannot
call
do
it
that. I cannot do that. I cannot do
You may
that.
find a treasure, my friend.
Sell a bunch of stuff. We need to check out those 2 items, or 3 items. You tell there were 3 because that was
I
more.
cannot do that. I cannot do that.
Where were we? Here?
I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
Prismatic
I cannot do that.
gaze.
I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
Set that there. Set that there.
I
All right.
cannot do that. I cannot do that.
So this has a lot of damage over time. Elemental and necrotic resistance. This one has poison resistance. We've got enough that the resists are not important in this case. It has frailty. Frailty reduces the damage dealt by 6% multiplicative. In the last 4 seconds, it stacks up to 3 times. My assumption is that it can be applied, doesn't have to be applied by an item. Any attack or spell will do it, but it might be that your items have to have at least some percent for it to be added onto. So I don't know if this is good right now or not.
I cannot do that.
Devouring Orbs 3807. If I swap them,
I cannot do that.
4007. The only reason to keep this specifically is it has a little bit of damage over time and a little bit of mana. This has more damage over time and an open affix.
I cannot do that.
If my fat fingers would hit the right
I
button,
cannot
that
do
would be
that.
nice. Vitality? Vitality should be addable. Yes, 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 yes. Come on, where is it? Where's vitality? Am I blind? Possibly. It can't have vitality? Say what? It can't have vitality. It can have strength, but not vitality? The deuce, you say? I'm confused. Frequently. How about health? Look, it's got dex. Am I out of vitality scraps? That doesn't seem likely. I am out of vitality. Wow. That's disappointing. It's disappointing. Is there anything else we would put in there in this particular case? Void damage. We could throw void damage on.
I cannot do that.
Void damage is pretty good. That wasn't terrible loss of potential, frankly. That worked relatively well. We have a bunch of damage over time. Okay, we can't elevate this anymore. So right now, we were doing, I think it was 3,800, and now this is going to be, what, like 4,200 or
I
something?
cannot do that.
4,600. That's a big damage boost. We're going to go with that. Now over here, let's see. We've got spell damage, and some damage over time. Here we've got spell damage over time, and void penetration. Here we've got spell damage, damage over time. Big number.
I cannot
So
do
again,
that.
we're at 4662. This one is probably a
I cannot
loss.
do that.
A big loss. This one, probably a small loss.
I
A
cannot
small
do
loss,
that.
I would expect. 4662.
I cannot do that.
Yeah. But this one might be improved.
I cannot do that.
Chance to shock on hit. Damage over time. We've got a bunch of those. Spell damage, we don't have a bunch. It's got not a great amount of forging potential. Don't do it. My guess is now this is another couple hundred, maybe 200 or 300.
I cannot do that.
So we're at 4662, maybe to 5k?
I cannot do that.
Oh, 5790.
I
Oh,
cannot do that.
Lens likey. Oh, goodness. We went from 3,800 to 50, about a 57% damage increase. Well, I guess I'll take that. That seems okay.
I cannot do that.
I guess.
I cannot do that.
Hard for me to know for sure.
I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
So,
I
that
cannot
went
do
well.
that.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say.
I cannot do that.
That's got Vit, health, and health. That's really quite good. Oh, I probably have hit a high enough level I can
cannot
add
do
some more
that.
stuff onto this. Tier 6, Tier 5.
I cannot do that.
I believe this is the percent. It's currently at 5%. We have 14 forging potential left. That was a critical hit, so it didn't just raise that. It raised this one too. But we have to be level 65 to forge it any further.
I cannot do
Still, that went from like 23 health and 3 or 4% increased health to 29 and 6. So
that. I cannot do
those
that.
were two excellent crafting
I
sessions.
cannot do that.
All right, we are back to Monolith,
I
the
cannot
Black
do that.
Sun. Working our way through our second island. The first island increased the number of idols we dropped, large idols, I think. We're here, Cemetery of the Erased. It says start. Okay, we'll try again. Seems like it's the same layout. In which case, maybe everything's just fine. And dandy. I would like things to be fine and dandy. Inherently, that seems better than things suck. They do enjoy their work. Stop with the sandstorm bullshit. It's not funny. It's not cute. They all drop and die into the AoE. Dots, dots, dots. Everybody loves dots unless they're the Let's try this again, shall we?
Stand down or die.
We're into the cemetery gates. Keats and Yates are on my side. On your side, but Wild is on mine. That's an old guy music reference.
She is leaving me.
The Smiths. We have a chest. A couple of blue items, some gold, and disappointment. That's what that held. Scholars, shrine boots of, I think, Defiance. Funnily enough, I played the game Defiance earlier today. The servers were back after 4 years. Well, they weren't back. New servers. If you're not familiar with it, it was a third-person RPG, MMORPG shooter. that came out with a television show of the same title. The TV show lasted for 3 years. The game lasted for, I don't know, 8, 10, something like that. It was shut down in 2021 by Gamago. Everyone loves Gamago, right? And a small company named Fox, who sort of do this as what they do, got a license to the code and running a brand new server for Defiance. Launched today. I played about an hour and 20 minutes. Servers crashed. Not really surprising. I mean, come on. I like to think it was because there were so many people playing. That would be awesome. But the fact that these guys, try to take dead games and make them live again makes me want them to succeed. We've got too many game companies that just want to pull the plug on games. Level 62. That's right. I want to use the key. The Temporal Sanctum Dungeon Key. Note to self. Yeah, you wanted to do that dumb shit. Oh, right. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, I forgot. I certainly hope this isn't a dead end over here. Because I think the other one was. And was I right or not? We'll find out shortly. No. It appears that I made the correct choice. The other one probably was a dead end. Tomb Guardian. Oh, no, you can't do that. You probably, you can, because you did, but you should not do that to me. I'm a friend. Just because I'm killing all the rest of your friends, really, they were just taking advantage. Your good nature, your kind heart. As you can see, the cemetery is a bit bigger than the tomb. Boss time. Woven Firstborn. Get out. Don't get into that. Got him. Victory is mine. Champion of the world. The Echo has been conquered. That's it. Now I get to place. What was it? Where was it? The one I wanted to use. Forgotten timeline filled with shrines. No, was it over here? Nemesis. Yes, that's right. This allows you to open up one of these maps. And it sprawls out this far because some of them will affect adjacent echoes. I think I wanted to do the Nemesis one. Yes, confront multiple nemesis to scale the tower. Let's not get too fancy with it. Let's just drop it. There. No, not yet, not yet. How many charges do we have? We're doing Paladin now. One more, that's it. And now the next 5 will go into Heaven's Bulwark, and then we get Symbols of Hope. And go back to good stuff. 2 uses on the cemeteries, it seems like. Let's see, I think I wanted that one. Sure, why not that one? Those are big. They should get big, beefy additions to them. Increase movement speed and damage. Not going to go wrong with either of those. Damage over time and endurance. They both got, one got 4, the other got 3 Weaver's Touch, which means they'll be getting additional affixes if you use them while you're, you know, murdering stuff. Zarek's Greed. One of the echoes, one of the things you can do with the echoes is you can get Zarek following you around, and he increases the gold drops. To here and there. That's a big bone. Fill in your own joke there. I trust you can come up with something clever. We want to salvage that one for the Void Pen. Increased echo damage when a skill echoes. I think we want that one too. Int, Vit, Fizz, and Dodge. I don't want to give up that much movement speed. So that one we'll just make it easy. We'll just shatter all 3. That has 8, 13, 16 affixes. Points worth. And we got 8. We got half. That's fine. This one's got 2, 3, 5. Ugh. We got one of the echoes. That's the one we're looking for. This one we want my melee attack speed's not bad, but what we want is the Void Pen. Come on, baby. Give me all 4. I'll take 2. Not that I have any actual choice in the matter. I have to take 2 because that's all that's available. Back to the cemetery. Open the portal. Back to here. Our rewards. We're going to run that multiple nemesis thing first, and then we're going to run the key. Probably. Enemies have 54% increased health and damage. That seems like a lot. 75% increased item rarity. 45% increased experience gained. A Weaver tree point. What's not to like? Except the 54% increased health and damage. That's what's not to like. The character has not died yet. I have just ensured that he will die. There you go. Nemesis. Well, we want to empower it a second time, and then we'll fight him again. How many nemesis we end up fighting? Probably like 5 or 6, I'm guessing. It's interesting. It gives you a way to sort of choose the content you want to do, which is really nice. All right, we have another nemesis and a shrine. Well, we're going to take the shrine. We have the ice beam. All right, this one we want to challenge, and he's going to drop those items. I think we get another batch. We should get another complete nemesis on the next 3 floors. Up we go. Another nemesis. This one, yep, we want to empower. Basically, if they're almost anything, you want to empower them. If there's nothing on there that might conceivably of interest to you at all, then you can just skip it. Oh, and we have a captive mage. We will challenge this. Lightning cracks. And we got his goodies again. And we're also going to bonk this exiled mage in his melon. His something is unequaled, he just said. I wasn't paying attention to what it was that was unequaled, but something was unequaled. his ability to talk about something being unequaled is unequaled. Ooh, I don't know. Oh, we've got another floor after this, it looks like. We will take Shrine of Wealth. Okay, it's money. We like money. I like gold. And a new nemesis. An Egg of the Forgotten can be replaced with a unique item that lacks both legendary potential and Weaver's Will. Changes to a random unique if challenged empowered. I'd have to read up on what it actually does, so I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to empower. I don't have so many uniques that there's anything in particular I want to level up. I wonder how many levels there are. Ah, this should be the last. Vengeance Incarnate. Yeah, it hits significantly. He's almost dead. We've almost got him. We got him. A whole bunch of stuff he drops. Good. I like whole bunches of stuff.
Too heavy. Too heavy.
Ah, my inventory is full. How about if I sort it? Is it still full? Ha! No. Burn. Portal. Go back to town. And we have another point in the Weaver's Tree. Echoes have a chance to contain additional Spiderling packs. Spiderling, Spiderling. No idea what a Spiderling is. Alright, we got a Torch of the Pontifex with additional chance to poison, which isn't particularly a big deal because it's a fire damage item. We got Raven's Rise, minions, spell minions, and throwing damage. I'm not sure that that is any kind of synergy that would ever get used by a conscious being. Let's see, damage over time, 303%, and frailty on melee hit, and armor shred. Physical damage, fire damage. It's very rare to get one of these items with two affixes that have been raised to the highest level. These 7s or 6s? Okay, they're both 6s, so they can go as high as 7s. But to also have a sealed affix on it, so a 5th affix, extremely unusual. Chance to blind, to blave, melee damage, Vit, mana, elemental resist, and armor. Again, a tier 7 and a tier 6. That's the highest the elemental resistance can go on a chest piece. And a lot of armor to boot. And Vit. See, this one, Vit is my primary scaling stat that we need. So this one has tier 6 Vit. I could only get up to tier 5 on this. I could seal the mana, though. I'm going to move that into my maybe for this character batch. That one I'm going to salvage. A couple of little stabby daggers. I like stabby daggers. I'm browsing these as we go. That one needs to get set aside. Marauder's Sunbeak of Conflagration. Melee crit. Chance to upgrade when you slay a Harbinger. What does that even mean? Fire's level 81. You'll note, I'm not level 80. Blighted Crystal Cores. More chance to upgrade when you kill a Harbinger. I have no idea. Offhand Catalysts. So those are castery things. put them here. Even the yellow ones, on account of I'd never seen them before. We also have the Tribo Electra. That looks pretty good. That's a level 45 item. It has base of 56 spell percent, and this 56 spell, and this adds 97% spell damage. That's a tier 5. Added on. Lightning spells, tendrils with static orb. That one's pretty cool looking too. Alright, this one we're keeping, but it's going into a different box. That box? I don't think so. Yeah, I guess it is that box. It's full. Well, you know what that means. Another 7,500. This goes into the... I might use this on this character tab. Don't need the elemental resist, but a lot of armor and fit that we could jack up higher. Not as high. Seal the mana? Maybe. 65% armor is a lot. And this one we need to break into little tiny pieces. We have 10 affix points, and we got 5 out. I'll take that. Alright, so now we need something with legendary potential, because if we're going into the Temporal Sanctum, we want to at least be able to... actually, we're better off. Search here. There. Okay, these are the only things that have LP. So we need a one-handed sword. Or a helm. We did get an LP Mad Alchemist later. I didn't think we had. Okay, so we need an item that goes with one of these. An exalted item that has one of these. Either a one-handed sword, a helm, a wand. We're going to go to the Exalted. And we have any one-hand swords? We have literally none in that tab. Melee void damage. I would like to have one that actually has a stat that's useful. We're going to put it on that. What would we like? How about if we put it on that? Low level. Low level is better. That's really low level. So we would just basically like something with a good affix of some kind on it. Melee lightning damage would be broken. That's actually pretty good as it is, because it already has a fractured affix. Can't do that one. Wand. Cold damage, crit multi, freeze rate multi. Maybe. They have to be exalted. They have to be super hot. Fire. That's not bad. We'll go with that. We're going to give that one a try. Now, I'm going through all this because at the end you can smash these two together, and one of those 4 affixes will get added to the Mad Alchemist. And all of those are at least reasonably good. I will try and pump them up a little bit before we send them off to their ignominious fates. Because you might as well raise the affixes as much as you can. We'll alternate between fire and necrotic. We only have 2 in fire. That's a little unsettling. That raised the fire. Very nice. Requires 64 to forge. So the best case is probably either the probably the fire, realistically, or the ignite, or the necrotic. The slow would be the worst. This all, of course, assumes that we actually can defeat Julra at the end of time, which is not necessarily a given. We never grabbed our loot from him. I'm not sure which era it's in. Alright, that's the Soulfire Bastion. Is it in the Ruined Era? Wellrun has... I don't even recognize. I guess I haven't been to that one. We know I've been to the one we do want. Erot's Last Blessing. It should be here, because we need to get to Upper Majelka. Circle of Fortune, yeah, so it's got to be here. Where is it? Come on. Was it in the Ancient Era, actually? Maybe, because it is time travel. Temple of Atera. Ugh, 1 second. If all else fails. Last Epoch Era for Temporal Sanctum. It's in the Ruined Era. Through the Ruined Era. Alright, it's in the Ruined. Okay, end of time. Oh, that's the Lightless Arbor. There it is. There it is. Found it instantly. As far as you know. We'll go ahead and set these down here. So we can get them there. The objective we're doing here is to come out, but it's not actually to do the legendary potential thing, although that would be fine. It's to come out the far end, which gets us much closer to the Circle of Fortune than running through the storyline. You're not like the abominations outside. Well, it depends. Key? Found a key. Farewell. Enter the sanctum. Doesn't have an indicator. I don't know what the second thing is for. We do have 1 key. Do I have to drag it here? I do. I don't know what that little secondary thing is. Each attempt in the dungeon requires a key. Dying or leaving through a portal fails the attempt. We want it on tier 1. For sure. We have to do each tier, so we couldn't do it on a higher tier if we wanted to. Now, the interesting thing about this is it's time travel. And when we hit D, we swap between the eras. And the layout doesn't change. But the nature of the mobs and any doors changes. Kind of a nifty little gimmick, but they don't all necessarily change. Oh, wait, what was that? Oh, we had, yeah, you see? Don't want to not get my relic bits. My shards and stuff. So we have to find the door that'll take us to the next level. There's a champion up ahead. I don't really know how strong or not the champions are. I haven't seen that many of them to be like completely utterly confident that I can. Enemies drop slightly more exalted rings, 20% increased enemy damage and enemy health. And the final boss has mechanics where you need to jump between arrows to avoid
What's this?
a really big hit.
Manipulating time.
Sanctum Cloisters. I think the mobs are a little bit less annoying in this time. Generally. A Cliff of Despair for sealing affixes. And we got something waiting for us over here. Chest of fat loot, perhaps? Stolen trinkets and tools of the trade, stashed, never reclaimed. Amongst the other stuff, 3 Exalteds. Calling them Exalted, I may be getting that confused with the items in Guild Wars 2. But hey, I'm old, I can't remember stuff. I make those sort of little brain mistakes. We have another champion awaiting.
The Epoch. Finally, I will have its power.
No pathway through there, none through there. Rune of Creation. I have no idea what a Rune of Creation does. Duplicates an item but reduces the forging potential to 0, so it's a mirror. Mirror of Kalandra. For an item that is already out of forging potential. So basically it's ideal for, say, a ring. You have an awesome ring, finished your crafting on it, and it's just about perfect. You now have 2.
Stand down or
Yeah, stand down or die. They've heard me say it before. They don't seem to be impressed. You have a nemesis. We want to empower again. Is that like another sort of a rune that I saw there? And a champion. Wow. He didn't last long at all. That was not a complaint. The Sanctum Archive. This will lead us to the boss. Eventually. Proceed, Jura. Alright. This is the boss.
Epoch, I will have it.
1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000.
Escape is impossible.
That kind of hurt a little bit. Lady Julra. How about I head back here?
Escape is impossible.
Almost got her. Whoops, we didn't want to do that. We almost have her dead. We have her dead. Was only level 55. Julra's Star Dial. That also has 1 LP. And this is the Sanctum Archive, wherein we swap back. We put our 2 items in. Unique item. The Occultist's Crystal Wand of Conflagration. We seal the cache. We change the times. And it got the Ignite. It got the best affix. or at least the highest tier affix. That is a tier 6. So now, if I wanted to use this in some sort of burnination build, I could use it from level 17. But this takes us out in the Ruined Era. No, we're not in the Ruined Era. This takes us out to the Radiant Dunes. This is where we want to go. In the Modern Era. Now we just have like a 5 or 10 minute trip to get to Upper Majelka. A quest or two we have to run in Upper Majelka. And that allows us to choose the Circle of Fortune or the Merchants. I think Merchants Guild is what it's called. Circle of Fortune basically is for those of us who are playing either mostly by ourselves or entirely by ourselves. It increases your loot and gives you more control over loot. So, for instance, if you're trying to make a specific build, you don't have to do quite as insane levels of farming. Or at least you'll have a better chance of getting the things you hope to get. Whereas the Merchant Guild gives you access to buying and selling items.
Thank you for the assistance. I could have gotten. You haven't perhaps.
Zarek.
I can't complain about that though. You ready to head out then?
By buying and selling items, I mean to other players.
The skill then would never mention.
Generally, that was not held to be a great implementation on the first go-through. Let's see if that's better. The Circle of Fortune is really fun for a solo player.
Makes me sick to see what our people like. They never stood a chance. Stand down or die.
I was talking to beehives there, telling them to stand down or die. Oh, Nemesis. Not a great place for it. No, that is Transcriber's Graver. Increased melee damage. That seems like that might be good for a sword. Call me crazy. No, go ahead, call me crazy. Thank you for coming down from your platform. Coming down off your pedestal. Oh, you can just give me your loot. Thanks. Ooh. I think that was another loot lizard. Dropped 2 uniques. Very nice. Well, I don't know. The uniques might not be nice, but it's nice for them to drop. You know, it's like getting a present. Even if the present is crap, sometimes the thought counts. I would not be capable of being one of these great big giant enormous beetle riders, as I don't like them. They creep me out. Bugs. I am a bit of an entomophobe. Majelka, Upper District. Ta-da. Now we will see if we can go straight to the Circle of Fortune. I think there are a couple quests we have to run. What are we, 62? Yeah, 62. Almost 63.
That's it.
Ah, black market key trader for dungeons. You'll be able to swap keys for a portal charm. A portal charm takes you directly to the dungeon boss. So that last dungeon we went through, I could trade 3 keys for a portal pass that get me straight to Jewel Rock. Because running the dungeons can be pretty tedious. That's a brand new addition. And here's the speech.
Have we all been bound by the chains of fate. I will shatter them. Along with who
From
would
the Snake Lady.
find me. Freedom will
Pardon
be
me on.
our future. My future. At
I'm going to
any
take just a
cost.
sec to close the window. Another nice day here. Low 70s. Not meant as a boast for any of you who live in a place with crappy weather.
I cannot do that.
But having reached here, I think I'm going to call it an evening. I want to thank you guys, as always, for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. So tomorrow, I will be back at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. I might be back earlier for an early session in the day. I haven't decided. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. If I get a decent night's sleep, maybe. Other things that are upcoming. Let's see. Today, Defiance came out, and I want to check back in with that and see if the servers are tidied up now, and maybe play that again tomorrow. Also, we've had 2 games that were on my wish list pop up in the last week. Yesterday was today. Today was Lost Skies. I have no idea how you lose a sky. Which looked fun and interesting. If memory serves, kind of a survival crafting game, which I have become more and more enamored of over the last year or so. Particularly the ones with a little bit less in the combat. Survival and crafting parts. Also, the new one from RuneScape. The RuneScape Dragon thing was another one I had wish listed for the same reasons. I don't know how soloable it is. I know it's listed as 1 to 4 co-op, and the only person I saw watching, the only person I watched playing was Shroud, and they were playing with 4. So I don't know how soloable that is. It's something I'll have to look into. Also upcoming next week on the 23rd. So a week from Wednesday, I think. The best game title of the year, Rail Gods of Hystera. A survival crafting game. Wow, why did that pop up? That takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where Cthulhu and the Great Old Ones have risen. So that's musical comedy, obviously. And then next month, at some point, we get, knock on wood, Dune Awakening. So those are my plans. What I'm going to be playing tomorrow, I don't know. I could see myself picking up the... Why are you keep pinging me with this? I could see myself getting the RuneScape game. I could see myself getting Lost Skies. I could see myself playing Defiance. I could see myself playing more Last Epoch. And I could see myself even going back to Blueprints. I honestly don't know. So many games in the middle of this month, it's just driving me crazy. Anyway, I will be back tomorrow at the usual time, possibly also an earlier session. We'll see. Again, thank you guys very much for hanging out. Hopefully you'll see me soon. Thank you very much for watching the stream. I'm very appreciative of that. Bingo Bonko, also, like the name. I'll back tomorrow. I hope the rest of your evening goes great, and I require your weekend to kick ass, okay? And I'll want a complete report on my desk first thing Monday morning about how awesome your weekend is. I'm back tomorrow. I hope the rest of your day goes great. Take care, and ciao for now.